Hello, this is Cheyenne's Good Fortune. Back today again with a new episode. So, I have a video here that may be rather long. I don't know how long it's going to be, but bear with me. So, we have a card here called All Tied Up. And this is dealing with racism. So, Spirit wants you to know that racism still exists, okay? That racism is bondage and that it suppresses certain people where one group of people steps on another group of people. And that racism makes people closed-minded. So I have been experiencing racism at my current job. And I had a meeting with my boss, the owner of the company, and he's racist as well. And so I didn't want to just make the video ranting. I wanted to give a message, and Spirit wanted me to make this video to give you that message that racism still exists, okay? And that racism keeps people closed-minded, and that racism is bondage. It holds some people in bondage, and that it suppresses people, and that it causes one group to step on another group. Now, if you're not racist, okay, then you shouldn't get mad at this video, all right? So if you are racist, click off. If you're racist, click off. Now I am black, and the people I'm going to discuss that are at my job are white, but that I'm not trying to say every white person's racist. That's not what this video is about. There's racist people in every race, okay? I so happen to be black, and the people I'm going to discuss so happen to be white. But that's as far as that goes, okay? So if you're not racist, then don't get offended by this video. You shouldn't be, all right? Because anybody of any race should want to know if somebody's being mistreated. Am I correct? All right. So I had an incident, right? So there's a coworker. Let's say her name is Carrie, and let's have another coworker named Beth. We're just gonna make up some names. So currently, I'm at this job. We're in this very small space, and I'm the only black person that works there, right? And the other two women, everybody else there is white. Include obviously the two women are white. We're in this very small space. All right. So think of a 1-bedroom apartment, but think of the size of the bedroom of that one bedroom apartment. And they crammed 3 people in this little space with a printer. Oh, and let me say too, this may be a very long video. And I'm gonna say this again if I haven't already. So listen to it and come back to it. I want you to hear it from the beginning to the end. All right. So I'm letting you know it may be long. So we're in this very small space. We don't have cubicles. We don't have a divider or anything. In the back is a warehouse. On the other side of the wall, we have our little, break room or whatever, conference room. So I'm letting you know that there is nowhere for me to run or hide or get away from these people, okay? And once again, there's no cubicles. There's no divider or anything. Just it's a small space with 3 people crammed in there with our desk, our chair, our laptop, and it's a printer on the side. That's it. So I have nowhere to go. There is no, oh, don't be around your coworkers, ignore this. No, we're in this small space. You can't hide from each other. All right, so let's say the lady who was making the racial comments is named Carrie. So we had an annual meeting. And so I got there like exactly on time because it ended up being 40 minutes from my home. I get there, we had breakfast. Well, they had breakfast before I got there. And so during one of our breaks, me and her just had, was making basic conversation. And I said, oh, I'm dehydrated. And she said, well, did you eat anything? Yeah. I said, no, I didn't eat anything. And she said, they had got a platter of fruit for me to eat because I don't eat meat. I'm vegan. So it was a platter of fruit on the table, and she says, oh, well, get some fruit. And she said, I said, I don't know. And she said, well, there's some watermelon over there. Now, the platter of fruit had grapes, strawberries, cantaloupe, and watermelon. But it had a lot of different fruit over there. So we all know there's a stereotype that black people like watermelon and fried chicken. We all know that. So when she said that, I paused because she had never said anything weird to me or nothing that I would consider racial, ever. So I paused, and then I thought, well, see, I know she's passive aggressive, and she avoids confrontation at all costs. She literally told me and the other coworker, I avoid confrontation at all costs. So I already knew that if I confronted her right then, she was gonna deflect it and say, oh, because she could have said, if I said, why did you pick the watermelon? You saying that because I'm black? She could have just said, oh no, I said watermelon because you said you were dehydrated and watermelon has high water content, so that's why I said that. See, she could have said that. You see how smooth that was? So when you're dealing with a racist person like that and a person who's non-confrontational, that's how they're going to come at you with these little backhanded little comments and these stereotypes. But they too much of a coward and a punk to just say that they feel you're an N-word and they don't like you. They got to come from a different angle, if that makes sense, right? So I felt in the back of my head, because I gave her the benefit of the doubt, because that was the first time she ever said something that I could even consider racist. But like I said, she could flip it and say, oh, I said watermelon because it has a high water content and you say you was dehydrated. You understand? So then I'll wait. I said, okay, I'm going to see if she says something else that I would consider racist. So a couple months go past and I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And me, her, and another coworker were talking. And they were mentioning movies they had watched before. And I said, oh, they mentioned the movie Wicked. And I said, wait a minute, I heard of that movie. I haven't seen that. I said, I think I saw some commercials about Wicked. So Carrie, we gonna call her the watermelon lady, the racist lady, she turns around, looks at me and said, you haven't watched the movie Wicked? I said, no. She was like, oh, I'm shocked. She just looked like I had stole her child. She was like, I'm just shocked that you haven't saw that movie. And she's like, I'm really shocked. I said, what are you shocked about? I said, you shocked? I said, no. I mean, I kind of laughed. I'm like, no, I haven't watched it. She's like, oh, I'm shocked. I'm like, okay. So the other movies they mentioned, I said I hadn't seen those, but she didn't have that reaction. But this movie, Wicked, she just seemed so flabbergasted and just so confused that I hadn't watched it. So once I got home, I went on the internet, I looked up the movie Wicked. I typed in Wicked, the movie. The images came up, and I remember I did see these images. So it's of that singer, Ariana Grande, I think she is. She had on a pink dress, like she's like I don't know who she is in the movie. And then there's a black woman. She's supposed to be the witch, and her face is painted green. I said, oh, okay. So she assuming that I would want to watch this movie and be all into it because it's a black woman. So that's when I knew her mind is racial based, and that watermelon comment was meant to be a stereotype and to try to degrade me. So I said, okay, so now I know I'm dealing with a racist. So I found in the back of my head, because my thing is, why confront her now? She made the comments. She made the comment about the movie, so now I know what I'm dealing with. I didn't know before. I really didn't. I never experienced this type of racism before, so I'm not knowing. I'm just thinking these are innocent comments, but they're not. So this chick is full blown racist right now. During this time, I've noticed between me and the other coworker, she's more when she would help her, because she started before us. When she would help her, she'll not seem as annoyed, but when she helped me, she's more annoyed. She seems more agitated. She also has a habit of she's very negative. So if she has a problem with you, she'll make fun of you. She always say that I'm always cold, or the other girl talks too much, but she'll say in a joking way. But that's what she doesn't like about you, or she's trying to make fun of you and put you down. She does this a lot, but she does it in a condescending, backhanded compliment, joking way. So I believe also some stuff. So it escalates, right? So one day, I'm waiting for her to make another racial comment so I can lay into her ass, right? Excuse my language. So, because now I know it's actually racial based. That second comment wasn't nothing like a racial comment. It was more like I knew that she wanted to know why I hadn't watched the movie, because she's shocked that I wasn't into it because it was a black woman. So that's how I know that watermelon comment was correlated to that she's coming from a racial standpoint. So she's a racist. So now I know how to handle her. So a couple weeks later, the owner's wife wanted to take us out to lunch, and so she had sent me an email saying, we're gonna go out to lunch this time. So I didn't know she sent the other two women the email as well. So I did hear it sounded like one of them had received the email around the same time I did, like the ding. We're that close, like physically in this office space. So I heard like a ding. So I said, guys, let's say the owner's wife is named Jennifer. I said, did Jennifer send you a email? Did she invite you out to lunch? And so Carrie, the watermelon lady, she says, no, Cheyenne, you're the only one that received the email. And then like rolled her eyes and like threw her head back like, like I'm pathetic. And did it real nasty. So I calmly sat there. I felt my heart beating real fast. And that's when I know I do have a temper. When I get mad, I get real mad. I don't play no games. And I do not tolerate disrespect. Period. So I got real mad. And I started breathing hard to calm myself down. And then I said, you all, I asked that not because I'm trying to make it sound like I'm special or anything, but I really want to know that you guys get the email. And then my other coworker, let's call her Beth, she says, oh no, Cheyenne, you do think you're special, haha, you know, making fun of the situation. And so Carrie, the watermelon lady, was real quiet, like she just had like she was just angry towards me. And then that was it. So I said, Carrie. And she turned around. I was like, I don't know. No, before then they started joking around and doing all this weird stuff. I said, I'm finna nip this in the bud right now. So I said, Carrie. She turned around and said, I don't appreciate what you said to me. And she said, what do you mean? I said, when I asked you guys, did you receive the email from Jennifer? I said, well, we had the performance review and he invited us out for lunch. I said, we each received the email individually. This time she put us all in the same email. So I was just confirming that you guys got it too. And she said, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I said, yeah. I said, I don't understand what the problem is. I said, it was just a fucking, no, I didn't curse. I said, it was just a damn question. I don't even think I said damn. I said, it was just a question, but I had a lot of bass in my voice. I did not use profanity, but I did have bass in my voice. And I was as serious as a damn heart attack. And I was about, and to be honest with you, I was about to put my hands on her. Like, that's how I got real mad. But I kept my composure. And then she turned around in her seat and looked like, what's wrong with her? And then her and Beth kind of looked at each other, gave each other this weird look. And after that just went downhill. I believe they went behind my back and was saying I'm being difficult. I went off. Spirits tell me that she felt I humiliated her and that she doesn't feel like a nigger should talk to her like that. Okay? N-I-G-G-A. And I'm gonna say the N word throughout this video because I wanna bring this home. I don't say that word. I'm against saying that word, but I need to bring this home so you can see how certain people think. So she doesn't feel like a N-I-G-G-A or N-I-G-G-E-R or whatever should talk to her like that. So she felt humiliated. So after that, the owner, asked us one day, is everything okay with you guys? He had like a quick meeting. He said, no drama, right? And I'm like, why would he ask no drama? Why would he say that? And that's because they went behind my back and said something to him. But they're not gonna tell him that she was being condescending, nasty towards me. They're gonna make me seem to be the bad guy, right? So I also think I feel they've been going behind my back also and saying I'm not helping them. So I sent her an email telling her I would help her. All she gotta do is ask me. She took 2 days off, pretend like she was sick, but I don't think she is. She came into work today, was acting weird towards me. Just acting weird, period. And then she ended up crying because she's real sensitive. And, spirits tell me that she knows that he said something to me about her saying I'm not helping them out. But he really didn't. But I'm just smart. I caught on. Like I said, she got to crying today. I'm the one that should be crying because I'm dealing with racism, but she was crying about something small. So I called a meeting with him. We met up at a local bar. This is the owner of the company. Now, this owner of the company, when we had the performance review, this man told me part of the reason he hired me was for affirmative action. Yeah, you guys, this is what he said to me. He said because we were talking, he says, it's something I want to say to you, but I don't know if I should say it. I was like, well, what is it? He had this little evil smirk on his face. He said, well, I told my friends I finally, we're moving up in the world. We got a black employee. I said, okay. And he said, I didn't want to just hire someone, a minority or whatever, just because of that, of their race. I wanted, because I have to fit, I guess certain companies have to have so many people of a certain minority group in their company or something. I don't know. But he said he didn't want to just do that just to be doing it. he want the person to get along with everybody, and they want, he wants someone there that fits in. And he said, I just fit in. So Spirit told me that he did hire me because of affirmative action, because he felt I was pretty. Those are the only two reasons why he hired me. He already confirmed he hired me for affirmative action. So he checked that box off. All right. I also had went home and looked up affirmative action. And yes, some companies can get a tax write-off if they hire a minority. So he didn't lie. That is one of the reasons why he hired me. And he told me that so that I wouldn't get comfortable and to humiliate me. Right. So people may say, what did you say after that? What can I say? I didn't know what to say. I'm just confused. I thought I was hired because I could do a good job. So basically, they're telling me if he did not find me attractive and if he could not get a tax write-off or a benefit for hiring a minority, he would not have hired me, basically. So fast forward to today. I'm bringing this up because about his behavior, him saying that to me, because it's letting you know this man is racist, right? And so I went into it already knowing he was racist, but today just confirmed it. And so I wasn't gonna win this situation no matter what. So we meet up at the bar. I show him the evidence that I emailed them saying I'm gonna, if they need help. He deflected. He said, well, they haven't came to me and said that you wasn't being helpful. So I couldn't really dig in on that. So I let that go. So I said, well, Carrie made some racist comments to me. I told him about the watermelon comment. Guys, he started to laugh. He was like, oh, that is so funny. He's like, oh my God. I said, well, the watermelon comment, some people know that there's a stereotype that blacks like chicken and watermelon. And I believe that's why and he started laughing. He thought it was so funny. He said, oh my God, he's like, look, every race for the most part has a stereotype. He said, blacks, you guys say that we eat ranch. And I said, no, we don't. I said, I've never heard blacks say that whites eat ranch. Okay, I said, let me explain to you my background. I said, I've been around all races of people. I wasn't raised like that. We did not talk about other races in our household, and that's the truth. We didn't talk about stereotypes. I wasn't raised like that. So no, I don't know anything about blacks saying that whites eat ranch. Okay, so what he did, this man is highly intelligent, but Spirit is telling me he was able to run ropes around me in the meeting and deflect because first of all, he's a salesman, but that's not the reason. He's a master manipulator. So what he did was he said that everything I said about her, so I told him what she did. He said, no, we can't have racism here. He said, so if she says any other comments, then yeah, we definitely will have a talk with her. So then he first started to go the pitiful route. He says, oh, well, he said, whenever there's an issue with an employee, I don't want to single them out. So I always do like a group email, or I address everybody as a group. He said, so I don't really know how to address this, because if I talk about racism or racial comments and you're the only black person here, it's going to make it kind of obvious. He said, so if she says anything else, we definitely will address. He said, because we cannot have that. So then he goes to say, well, I'm just so sick of talking about race in this world. There was a black guy. He talked about some black guy that worked at some job, and he was the only black guy, and that the black guy said they were hanging nooses, ropes, because they used to hang us black people back in the day from trees. They were hanging ropes in the building, and he said they found out they wasn't hanging ropes, that basically, in a warehouse, the door, that string, that rope you got to pull, he said all the doors had that rope hanging, and so it wasn't racial based. And he said some people are just sensitive, and then he starts talking about people claim he has white privilege and he's worked hard for what he had. And he started talking about Trump, and he said that basically that they're trying to divide us, and that's why they're bringing up race, and he's tired of hearing about race. And I said to him, I said, you know what? I said, yes, you can have a group of people that are sensitive, like that black guy you mentioned, hypersensitive, where everything's about race and they feel somebody's discriminated against them. I said, or you can have someone on the other hand that is racist and that's saying racial things to a person, but then he cut me off. He said they don't want to get in trouble. I said, yeah, they don't want to get in trouble. So they're going to just come out and call you the N-word or say, I don't like you because you're black. They're going to do it in a backhanded way, make little comments to where you're not sure if they are being racist or they're not. He said, you're right. Okay. So then he deflected the whole conversation. He started asking me about my love life. He asked me, who takes care of me when I'm sick? Do I have family here? You know, I need money. If I'm in a bad situation, who's there for me? He asked me, have I been married before? Was I currently dating? Asked me, you know, what my brothers did for a living. And I asked Spirit why he asked me that. And Spirit says because he wants to have sex with me. Because that's kind of part of the reason why he hired me, right? Because he found me attractive. I'm not knowing this because this man is married, by the way. I talk to his wife damn near every day. So then he tells me he has a friend and he make a hook me up with him. And I asked Spirit, then he asked my age too. And I asked Spirit, why did he ask me about his friend? He said, he wanted to know if I like white guys because he wanted to know if I would mess around with him. So the way for him to find that out, because he said to me, he said, I have a friend you may like. He said, but I don't know he's white, so I don't know. I said, well, I don't care about his race. He said, oh, okay. And they said he only asked me that to see if I'm open to dating white guys. Now this man is blatantly racist, right? But he wants to sleep with me. They're telling me that he wants to have sex with me. He's willing to put aside that I'm black. He gonna put that aside. Okay. Then it gets worse. After I let him deflect because at that point, I see I wasn't getting anywhere. He's not going to address her. He's going to wait for me to tell him. He's like, yeah, surely tell us if she's saying something racist. I just told you, and you're not going to address her. You're saying you want to wait till she say something else? Okay, fine. I can't change your mind. So if she say something else to me, I'm cussing her clean out because I came to you and you didn't do nothing. You want to wait for me to wait for her to try to humiliate me again. That's what you want to do. But now I'm not coming to you because I came to you once and you're not going to do anything. So I'm going to take it into my hands now. Like I took it to my hands before and I put it in her fucking place. Excuse my language. So then it gets worse. So we got to talking. He's telling me also he was talking about he's tired of racism, he's talking about his daughter's gay and he has black friends. Y'all know the classic. And so I didn't ask you all that, sir. In addition, what he was doing too, so I told him that, you know, she's made negative comments to other people, not racial because they're not black, but negative comments. He said, yeah, you know, I just think she's a negative person. And I think she's going through something right now. You know, she's an alcoholic. She drinks and, you know, she's going through stuff in her personal life. She's unstable. And I just think that he's like, I just think she's just saying that because she's not social and she don't have. I said, no, she's very outgoing. He said, yeah, she is outgoing and talkative, but I don't think she doesn't know how to talk to people. And he said, I think that's what it is. And he said, you know what it is, really? He said, you guys are in this really small space, 3 women in there. He didn't say 3 women. He said 3 people in this small space. I don't even know how you guys haven't killed each other yet. And he said, we're going to move soon because we're supposed to be moving to a bigger building and we're supposed to have our own office. He said, I don't know how you guys got through it. And I just believe you guys just need space from each other. Once we go into the new building, we're going to move in June. And once we get there, I think everything will smooth over and you guys won't have any issues. And I just think, you know, she doesn't understand what to say to people. And I just think, you know, she's going through something and she's just kind of a negative person. What does that have to do with her saying racial comments to me? That has nothing to do with it. So then, once again, it gets worse. Then he says he was mentioning his wife and they have a cat. I've seen the cat because his wife works from home. And when she teams us, it's a cat in the background. The cat is black, beautiful cat. So then he told me, well, you know, so as we're ending, we talked for 2 hours at this bar. He says, I just want to warn you. He said, I don't want you to get offended or anything. He said, but I named my cat Blackie. I immediately get this knot in my stomach. I said, Blackie. He said, yeah, I named my cat Blackie. He said, but he said, me and my wife would watch Seinfeld. And it was a scene, he claimed it was a scene with a cat and a black cat or something. They named it Seven. He said, so I wanted to retaliate against her. So I named the cat Blackie. And she said, you can't name that cat that. He said, well, if the cat was white, I would name it Whitey. So what's wrong? He said, so I don't want you to get, he started laughing. He said, I don't want you to get offended. I wanted to punch him in the face, but I don't want to go to jail. And Spirit told me that I handled things correctly. I told them that he deflected. They said, well, you know, he's a master manipulator. There was really nothing you can do. But they said, it's good you wasn't emotional. They said, because had I been emotional, what he would have did was he would have fired me on the spot. Like if I had got loud with him and said, look, stop deflecting. This woman said racial comments to me and you gonna say something to her. If I would have did that, then he would have pretty much fired me. So let's get into why he did what he did. So Spirit told me that he doesn't feel she did anything wrong. They said the racial comments she made towards me, he thought they were funny because he says bad things about black people all the time. In his spare time or whatever, around his friends, even though he claims he has black friends, I never seen him with one. He talks about black people all the time, allegedly. He talks about them all the time, and he says racial slurs and racial stereotypes about black people all the time. He doesn't feel she did anything wrong. He feels like I'm being sensitive. He feels like I need to lighten up. He does feel that Carrie's racist. The watermelon lady, he feels she's racist, but he's not going to do anything because he's racist too, and he doesn't feel she did anything wrong. They said he was not going to side with me because, quote, he's not going to side with a nigger over a white woman. What else? Let's see. What else did he say? Spirit told me about him. Yeah, so they also told me that they have been talking about me behind my back to him, but he did not want to confess that to me because he's scared I'm gonna go oops upside their head, because they told him when I confronted her that I had a temper. This is what spirits tell me. They told him I have a temper and all this, and so they pretty much acting like they're afraid for her life. And honestly, they probably should have been afraid for her life because I had enough, and I probably would have put my hands on her, but it was warranted. Putting your hands on somebody isn't warranted, but I'm saying that did not come out of anywhere, and she was being disrespectful. She was being. So I had to address her. Also another incident, I'm gonna jump back to him in a second. Spirit was there's another co-worker there. Basically Spirit told me that everybody there is racist. They all pretty much hate me because they're racist, and I carry myself well as a black woman. None of them want me there, but like I said, he just hired me because I am he found me attractive, and he hired me for affirmative action. And I don't know if I said this already, but if you for some companies, I think if you hire someone for affirmative action, you get a tax write-off. Okay, so that's why he brought me in. And there was a coworker there who said, okay, so we were at the annual meeting, and there was a coworker that was sitting straight across from me. And I was looking down at my paper, and I looked up. He was looking at me with such hatred in his face that chills ran down my spine. I want to vomit. It was just pure hatred. And then next to him was my coworker Beth, who has blonde hair and green eyes. He turned and looked at her, and he was just smiling at her and just beaming. I caught him looking at me multiple times, but it felt sinister. It felt uncomfortable. So I asked Spirit, what does that coworker think of me? So I'm gonna say the N-word again, you guys. So they say that coworker sees me as a good nigger, that he sees all black people as bad. He's racist, but cause I come off poised and well-spoken and I carry myself classy, he feels that it's only a matter of time before I show my true colors, and that I'm pretending to be a good person. I'm pretending to be nice. I'm pretending to be well-spoken. That I'm really an ignorant nigger, but I'm hiding it. So he considers me a nice nigger, flat out. And I've called him, like, I don't even want to be alone with him. Like, the way that man was looking at me, I called him again the other day. He was standing, we were at our desk, and he was standing against the front door facing us. And I was looking at my computer, and when I looked up at him, he was already looking at me the whole time, just like a curiosity. And like I said, he was looking at me with pure hatred a couple times. I would never be left alone with him. I never. So I'm gonna soon wrap this video up. Like I said, it's gonna be kind of long, but I just want you guys to, I didn't want to just come on here and rant. I wanted to bring a message that racism is still, it still exists, okay? Because of this, I am never, I should have ran. When I say I was the only black person there, I should have ran, but I didn't. And my spirits wanted me to know that racism still exists. That's why they wanted me to work here. And they wanted me to know that I will always be an N-I-G-G-A to some people. I will always be a nigger to some people. They told me there's nothing I can do to change people. If somebody's racist, they're racist. Nothing you can do to change them. And they wanted me to have this experience, to see it up close, and that there's no change in some people. They're just racist. And when I mean some people, I mean a racist person. A racist person can be in any race, okay? They happen to be white, but they could have been Asian. They could have been Mexican, Hispanic, whatever. Indian, they happen to be white. I want to make that clear. For anybody get offended. There's racist black people out here. So I'm just saying, I happen to be black, and the people I'm dealing with that's racist, these people, this set happen to be white. So once again, Spirit wanted me to know that that I will always, to these group of people, I'll always be a N-I-G-G-A to them. They do not accept me. They don't even want me there. And they do want me to start looking for another job as soon as possible. This man gaslighted me. He was acting as if I said that he was racist, or that it's like he was trying to convince me that she wasn't racist. He did not want to accept or admit to me that she was racist. Spirit's telling me he knows she's racist by the comments she made. It's obvious to him, but he doesn't think she did nothing wrong because it's funny to him. He says racial slurs and racist things about black people all the time, so he doesn't feel like she did nothing wrong. He feels I need to lighten up and let it go. They said he's going to disregard everything I said to him in that meeting. He's not going to acknowledge it. He kind of told me he wasn't going to say anything to her. He's talking about he don't know how to go about it, and it's going to make it too obvious. We'll pull her to the side. He's like, well, she's saying racial comments, definitely tell me. But she's doing it in a backhanded way. Oh, the watermelon comment, she can ease out of that. Because, but in a sense, she can't. And she can. She can't because it was multiple fruits over there. Why didn't you say watermelon? But then if I confront her, she could say, well, it has high water content. That's why I said, you see what I'm saying? Or then the comment about Wicked. Why you didn't see that movie? Why I'm shocked and all that. He knows how they're telling me he knows she's racist based upon what she said to me, because he's racist too. He's not gonna side with her over me. He's not gonna do that. They're saying he's gonna disregard everything I said. He's not gonna say anything to her. What else? Like I said, during the meeting, he was just deflecting the whole time. It was sickening. Everything I would say about her, I'm trying to show him she's a bad person. I'm like, this is how she is. She does this to everybody, but she's just using race against me. But she also says weird stuff to other people as well. And then he took that to, oh, well, she's just negative. And what did that do with her saying something racial towards me? That has nothing to do with it. You're deflecting. Then when I told him, now by the time I told him that she had been crying today, I already knew that wasn't going anywhere. So I knew once I said she was crying, they said, well, yeah, that's probably what it is. She's emotional, and that's probably why she was making those comments, and she doesn't. And I'm like, but why would she make racial comments? He said, well, she doesn't have he said she has bad social etiquette. She doesn't know how to talk to people, but she's outgoing, guys. She's outgoing and talkative. He said, it's like she's trying to be funny when she's really not. Oh, okay, she's trying to be funny. Saying a racial comment, that's racist. They're telling me he knows she's racist based on what she said. Like I said, he was laughing. So they're telling me I need to find me another job. This is a wrap. I just want to let anyone know that if you're going through this, that once again, don't be shocked. Racism still exists. Stay strong. Document if there is. Where I'm at, there's no HR. His wife is HR. So and I'm in a no-win situation because he's the owner of the company. Like, it's not like he's the boss or the supervisor and I can go above his head to the owner. No, he is the owner. This is his stuff. So I can't. This is his company. There's nothing I can do about it. Believe. But yeah, if it's a situation where it's a boss or a coworker and there's somebody above their head, document. I'm gonna start taking a pen to work with a record these people, document everything. But the problem is with racist people, like I said to him, the issue is that they're not gonna just directly tell you how they feel. They don't want to get in trouble. So they're gonna be backhand, like how she's saying with the watermelon thing. Then when you confront them, oh, and I told him that. I said, with a racist person, they're gonna say something backhanded to you. Then when you confront them, they're gonna say, oh no, I didn't mean it that way. So it's a no-win situation. You just gotta address it and say any comments that are racial based are not gonna be allowed. Else you would, and then he was saying something, he can't just, fire. He was talking about firing somebody if it's racial comments, but like I said, she's doing it in a very condescending, backhanded way. But oh no, I went to him already, and if I'm still here when if she say something else, I don't think she's gonna say anything else racist, because I already kind of went off on her, I already put in her place. So she's kind of afraid of me. They're trying to make it seem like I'm hostile. Oh no, I'm not hostile. Y'all are racist and trying to push my buttons, okay? And you think I wasn't gonna say nothing. And so I did the best I could in the meeting. He pretty much gaslight the whole time, deflected. It was just sickening. Like I couldn't even eat today. My stomach just hurt just talking about this. My stomach, has literally turned my stomach. But yeah. But I want anyone's in a situation to stay strong. I'm not going to turn racist because of this, but I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm never going to work at a place where I'm the only black person. And Spirit told me when I went to that interview and said I was the only black person, I should have ran. But I'm not racist, so I'm not thinking nothing of it. They said it was a lesson learned that you can't change a racist person. You can't change them, all right? And to let me know racism still exists. In my mind, it wasn't, I knew it exists, but I hadn't really experienced it head on the way I'm experiencing now. And then to have no support and the owner being racist too, and he thinking the comments is funny that she said to me, and he not even gonna say nothing to her about it. So allegedly, if she says something else to me, he's gonna confront her, dude. Because he could come to her right now about what she said. He's gonna try to think of a way to handle it. You ain't gonna say nothing. I'm making you aware. So when she said again, and I cussed that bitch out, because that's what I'm gonna do this time. Because now I see he's not on my side. He doesn't care. I'm cussing her clean out, and I'm gonna hope that I won't put my damn hands on her. I'm cussing this trashy, racist piece. What I want to say, I'm not gonna say on YouTube. Low life scumbag out, and whatever happens is gonna happen. Stay strong.